So welcome to my channel, that is Agentic AI Tech. My name is Rehan and I'm excited to have you here as we kick off our the first episode of Agentic AI Mastery. If you're really very curious about how modern AI agent work, or if you want to learn how to build, deploy and the master them from the scratch, then you are going to be in the right place. In this series, we will just break down the powerful AI concept into a simple, easy to follow lesson using a visual, real world projects and hands on the implementation. We will just explore various type of topics that will be agent framework, LLM orchestration, prompt engineering, knowledge retrievals, multi-agent collaboration and many more. And in today, it is going to be the first video we are laying on the foundation. You will understand what AI agents really are and how they work behind the scenes, and why they are going to become essential in the world of automation and intelligence. So let's jump into the first begin our journey to mastering intelligent agent. So all right, let's understand what exactly that AI agent is. So you can just look on the left side. Its AI agent is all about the and is an artificial intelligent agent. Is like a software programming that interact with the environments. Let me say it again. It's a software system, suppose, that actively engaging with the world around us, just like a human would. Now here is the key difference is like while humans set the goals, it's an AI agent that independently choose the best action to achieve those goals. So it does not wait for the step by step instruction. It just decide, learn, act on its own. For example, think about like contact center agent, but instead of humans, it's like an AI agent that listen to our query, understand it, and responds with the right solution, all on its own. This is the power of AI agent index action. So this is what all about it was an AI agent. We'll just look on the right side. That's break down into four core principles. So there are the four key principles of an AI agent, and we will keep this super simple. The first is autonomous. Is AI agent does not need babysitting. It's like they complete tasks without human helps. Second is rational. They always try to make the best possible decides or any decision to get the job done effectively. The third, we have a perceptive. So perceptive is basically they are not blind. AI agent sense what's the happening in the environment using data inputs like sensor logs. We have a predictive. This is where they are really signing. They analyze the pattern in the data to predict what actions will be coming on the next. So here is the really the quick example which I'm just showing in the image, like self-driving cars. It's like it sense obstacles, understand the traffic rules, predict other vehicles behavior and negative safely, and whatever we have based on that it takes an input, navigate safely all by itself. So that's right, there is an AI agent in the real world. So now that you know about an AI agent are what make them ethic, let's move ahead and break down this how they actually work step by step. Okay. So this is here the first thing is like AI agent bring in the range of powerful benefit to a business and the real world system. Let's quickly look up the four most important ones. The first one is basically an improved productivity. Agent can take over a repetitive or specific task and do them effectively without needs of a human intervention. Next is basically a reduced cost. By automating manual workflow, agents save both the time as well as the money. We have a third one, that is the informed decision making. Smart agent process real time data, helping you to business make smarter decision and faster. We have a fourth one, that's finally improved customer experience. That agent can deliver fast, personalized response which makes the user feel harder and the support. So why you combine when you just combine all this, you get the clear outcome, and an important one, that is overall customer experience. This was all about the benefit of using an AI agent. Now let's talk about what are the key components of an AI agent architecture. To build and understand an AI agent, you need to know like basic structure, or what we call as architecture. The first architecture, this is going to be the foundation. This is the base from which the agent operates. It's define the environment and constraints. We have the second one, that agent function. This is where the real intelligence kicks in. It defines how agent interprets the data and turn its decision or the action. We have the final one, that is the agent program. This is the actual implementation. It's the code or the system that execute the logic of the agent system. Think of it, it's like an architecture is the skeleton, and the function is our brain, and the program is our body that moves. So now this is going, you have seen the both benefit and the building block. Let's go one step further and we'll explore how agent actually behave in the real environment. So now we can move into the next slide. So next slide is basically how does this AI agent actually work. Like we can go with step by step. The first step is basically everything start with the goal. So the agent receive the an instruction or objective either from the human, from a system, or even from another agent. It's like the first job, plan out what the tasks need to be done and what is going to be the order. Think of it like a project manager. Before doing any of the before doing anything, it just first decide what I need to accomplish and what step will be there. Okay. The first second is basically acquire information. Once the goal is clear, the agent goes out and gather the information. This could means like searching the internet, accessing a database, or even communicating with other AI agent to collect what it needs. So it might be looking for the knowledge, real-time data, logs, or even user input. We are basically, before taking the action, the agent makes sure it has enough context or to make smarter decision whatever they have in that agent. Now we are just moving with the step 3, that is the implement of the task. Now with the plan in the hand and the data, it's need an AI agent to begin the acts. It's like a methodology performance each task one at a time and constantly checks whether the final goal is going to be reached. If needed, it just loop back, re-evaluate, and even just adjust its behavior based on the feedback or the outcome. This is how AI agent learn, adapt, and deliver result over the time. So in the short, we can just say in the summary, the agent go through a clear 3-step cycle, set a goal, find the data, and then take the action. This is like heartbeat of every intelligence system. And the next, we'll just explore how this agent make decision and using a reasoning engine and the feedback loop. So we'll go with the next slide. We'll just talk about something that's a real world example. So you can just see in how agent actually use the data to make a decision and internet with the user. So what you see here, basically it simplify the flow of how an AI agent powerful something like a movie recommendation system. Let's walk through each step. It start with user, like you are just having whatever the user you and anything whichever the platform you are just going to interact. Each user has their own profile. You can just think about even like a chat gpt. Each user will have a specific profile which store is feature store, like basically a database that keeps the track of our preference. As you see here, user preferences are listed like a generic like sci-fi, thrill, and western. These are going to be the user movie recommendations. These number they reflect how much a user like engage with each category. So the agent pulls the profile data and first fist up. It's like the basically in the simple words, you are just interacting with the agent. You will just provide whatever the movie recommendation this agent will give you based on whatever you have just searched in the past. The data and everything has been stored. They are stored in the data that we collect in the metadata store. Agent they have something like prompt engineering, and they collect the data whichever you have they have just stored in the vector form. Okay, and now I will go with the full more detail on the metadata store. So the agent moves to the metadata store. This is where it just fetch details about like available content, like movie title, generic rating and description. So this helps the agent to match what the user want and what it is available. Correct? I hope you understand, everyone. Now, now third is basically then apply a program. So once the agent has the both the user profile, they have the movie data. If the user is agent program, the code logic like figure out like which movie should I recommend. So this could be like a rule engine, a machine learning model, or sometimes decision making algorithm. This is the agent brain where it just think. You are just giving the prompt, and then agent is going to be think based on the whatever the LLM's model they are using. Then after we have the something step 4 that take action is like recommendation and delivery. So finally once the agent has chosen the right movie, it just taken action based on the whatever the metadata agent program they have done. In this case it just send a personalized email to respective user with their recommendation movie. It can give us the email, it can give us the user whenever you are just interacting the chat GPT and whatever they have. So this point out the like agent does more than just think, it just act. Like wrap up in this summary, I can just say, so user sends an input. Basically this is going to be the input to the agent. Now whenever they're just providing the agent and his input, the agent gather in profile and contact data to run this logic. So they just correct all the feature vector that is available for this specific movie whatever the user had just sent. This is how the intelligent agent bring value, by automating the entire loop from the input to decision making to delivery. Okay, and then we go with the metadata agent program, and then after it the agent delivers with the email or whatever the UI you are going to use. Okay, so this is what all about the feature vector, how their agent is drawing. So we will go again in much detail. Like now we are going to see how AI agent work in the action. Let's zoom out and just see. Okay, I think everyone can see these two diagram. Let's just think this one into bigger picture about like how this architecture has been built. So in the left panel, what is going to be the AI agent recap? It's like the first, let's recap where the AI agent really does and what actually it is really does. It receive a input from the environment. It takes the action based on our goals, either autonomous or through iteration. And mostly important is that is just decide to adapt and improve over the time. This is going to be really the key point. It's not only delivering you the correct answer, but based on that it is just improving over the time. In the right panel you can just see there are 5 core components. Now on the right side you will see something like you will have a 5 core component. Let's walk through each layer from start to finish. The journey begins with the input layer where the agent collect the raw data from the environment. We have the input layer. It should be like user message, a sensor signal, or a web page. This is like an agent window in the world. Next is basically a perception or pre-processing. So the data moves into a pre-processing stage where the agent cleans, format and transform the raw input into a something usable. Whatever we are providing into any LLMs, chat GPT or something another GPT architecture, sometimes we have really raw text data and it is really not understand by any of the agent. So this is the first step which it does whenever we are just receiving the data from the input layer, then passing to the pre-processing layer. Third, we have a knowledge base. So this then we hit into knowledge base. Basically this is the memory of the agent. It contains the fact, prior experience, rules and context, anything the agent has learned before. The more it knows, the better it will just perform. It's like the feedback loop where you are just storing everything data on the knowledge base. We have a reasoning model. So now it comes to small stuff like reasoning model. This is where the agent evaluate option, performing the error correction, retain itself and just select the best one. This is the brain behind the decision making. And finally we have the output layer. This output layer is where the agent take the action, where it just responds to the user updating a dashboard or triggering any system. The goal has been achieved, action is taken and cycle is going to be complete. So I can just say the summary closing for this slide will be this is basically a fully autonomy of the AI gen from a data, in the action out. Each layer has a role, and together they form like agent, intelligent, adaptive, and autonomous. So, and this is architecture is powerful. Everything from the chatbot or to self-driving car system to a agent-based workflow. Now that's what we just map with the full structure. We are just ready to explore more advanced use case and the further decision which we are just going to make. Okay. So yeah, so before we just close today's session, let's again going to more deep about like key features that makes an AI agent so powerful and make the AI agent really very intelligent, and why they are just shaping the future of intelligence system. So in the left panel, in the core capabilities which you can just see, let's start with the left side. At the heart of our AI agent, there are three core outcomes. The one is basically automating our tasks, just like handling repetitive or any complex action or whatever they have on its own. The second is basically improve over the decision making. It's like the processing data to make smarter, context aware or any choices they are just going to make. Then we have personalization that tailor the action or response unique for the each user. This leads to two powerful traits which we can just see, that is 24/7 availability. So it is not like sleep, like the way we humans sleep, they works around the clock. And scalability is like they can grow effort, like they we don't need to just have from one user to a millions with a no drop in the performance. Every agent will just work as independent, and every agent will just give us the better result than of the rest AI agent. It can just improve over the time. These are the key feature which on the right panel which we can just discuss. Now let's break down the some of the most important feature of AI agents one by one. Autonomy. Agent works without needing any step by step instruction. It's like they can just decide on their own. We have the learning and adaptation. Over the time, agent improve, learning from the outcomes, feedback, and the experience. Goal oriented. Every agent has a mission, whether it's like a solving a query, generating a report, or driving a car. We have an interaction with the environment. So this can be access external tools like APIs, data system, or even something like sensor that adapting as things that make that changes. We have multimodal capabilities. That's the advanced agent go beyond the text. They just understand voice, video, documentation, and image, and all together. You can find multimodal capabilities nowadays in most of the LLMs model, whether it is ChatGPT or whether you can go with any anthropic models we have. So final thought about this slide is basically we can just put it all together, and AI is not just smarter, they are just adaptive, scalable, and intelligent that collaborate with this changing how we are just solving the problem. And in the upcoming videos again, we are just going to take a deeper into how we can just build them, tune them, and make them work more real world use case. Then we move with the next slide. So let's take a detailed walk through the complete architecture of AI agent layer by layer. So this diagram maps out every major stage from the input to an action to a learning to adaptation. So let's start from the top left and go with the step by step. The first is basically an input layer. So this is how the agent sense its environment. It can pull into a data from, like, it can just take from the sensor, it can take from something like APIs, it can take from the user input, like whatever we are just giving an input in the chatbot, any chat GPT model, like text or a voice. We can just give something like file input as a documentation, we are attaching any PDF files or any format file. And also we can just go with the same system logs from apps or variables. So this is like agent raw perception of the world. Now the next is basically perception and pre-processing. Again, we will enter into pre-processing phase. Here the agent is going to transform messy data into something like we can saw about like raw to a clean and structure. It just normalize formats, remove some of the noise, parse structure, extract the extra features, and just filter whatever it matters. It just removes some of the words that agent does not need. It's just like our brain removing a distraction and focus only a relevant signals. Now third, we have a knowledge base. that remembering what it knows. Now the agent taps into a knowledge base. This include facts and the rules, relationship, we have memory, we have user preference, and we have dynamic adaptation. It's like an agent long-term memory. We'll just talk this thing again, short-term, long-term memory of the agent in the later in the next video. And this is what it more in turns like more powerful this it becomes. The fourth we have reasoning and decision engine, thinking like a brain. So this is like heart of our agent, the reasoning and decision engine. Here what happens, it like the first is basically in inference engine. So it's like a draw a conclusion, planners just build a strategies, decision makers, that's basically select the best option. We have goal manager, basically keeps the tasks on the tracks. And we have scenario simulator, it just states the outcomes before the acting. This is why the intelligence meets the logics, and it's real is very helpful for an AI agent. We have the fifth output layer, that we call is taking the action. So it's like once agent has made a decision, it acts via the output layer, like text reply, text response, speech outcomes, system actionable, notice alert, or physical authentication. These are the things which we are just having in our output layer. But in between them, we are just coming with the one more layers that we call as a learning modules. So learning modules is basically it's gather the feedback, learn from the label data, whatever we have supervised learning, detect the pattern, that is basically for unsupervised learning, learn by trials and error, that is a reinforcement learning, and finally just use an evaluation and metrics. So this is basically it will be looping system. Whenever you have an agent inside, you will have one feedback loops, so that will just gather the feedback from the user. From it can just collect, it can go apply any reinforcement learning, either you can go with the supervised, unsupervised, anything. So now we can just wrap up this slide. It's like you can just think a full internal journey of an AI agent. So from the sensing the world to a thinking, acting, and the learning, every layers play roles, making the agent intelligent, effective, and autonomous. So this architecture is like a blueprint behind the real world AI system today. In the next lesson again, we will just go through more details about various steps what we are going to follow. So we have something we call as an AI agent, that is a real use case. So imagine the first one we can go through about the AI. Okay, before starting I will just go through, like we will just expose this whole three architecture into a feature, intelligence, and behind that AI agent. But where do we actually use them first of all? So let's end on the session in this real world example. The first we are just talking about the AI health assistants. The first of like healthcare, like imagine an AI healthcare assistant that helps the doctor and patient behind the scenes. It begin with the patient data inputs, that from the where it can just take input from the digital record, sensor, and whatever they have. Next it will just go with the normalizing, that is basically data processing. You do normalizing, you do structuring the way you have done mostly on the machine learning steps. We have the medical knowledge base. It's like with the disease symptoms and drug information, they already know that about this drug. They know the information about this disease, they know the information, and everything has been stored in the knowledge base in the vector form. And then an AI agent just recommend like treatment plan and everything based on these blocks. So it's just like alerts the doctor in case of any emergency, or finally it just learns from every outcomes and improve further recommendation. So this is all about the AI healthcare assistance. If we are just talking about the customer support, it an AI agent receive the input from the email, chat, voice, whatever we have. Then after it just intend to detect the figure out what the user wants, and based on that it's not it hand over the conversation to the human, but meanwhile it just collect a feedback, something you can just see like knowledge base searching a frequent answer, and human escalation is like routing to the support agents. This is why it's going to be modern support system. It's like a chat bots and a smart tracking. So it's just giving the collection, but also it's just asking from the user like what's the feedback from your side. We will just go this all thing really in the implementation phase. This is going to be the whole video of the first will going to be, you need to understand what exact AI agent is. And yeah, we will go with the market and sales. Again, this is going to be the finally in the marketing and sales, and AI agent play really a huge role nowadays. So they start by analyzing the customer interaction data like clicks, chat, browsing. Then they use a behavior analysis to understand user interact, whatever the user is provided. Then the agent just generate content like email, something like it generate an email product or prompts, and based on that it will just do the segment user into a different group, use it like leading a score engine or something priority based on the proposer or whatever they have. So once they have, then it is going to be launch the camping launcher. It's like they gather the feedbacks and keep learning from every results. Okay, so this is how the companies basically scale their personalized marketing with this AI. So these all things which we can just go in really detail whenever we will build an AI agent for this healthcare, for this customer support, for this marketing and sales. So finally we can just wrap up this statement like, so whether it's like a saving a life, supporting a user, or driving a sales, everything is AI is in already working in the real worlds, and now you need to just understand how they are built, how they work, and whether they are used, where they are used. Thank you so much for this really AI real world example use case. You need to just understand. If you will have any question, feel free to just drop me the comment. We'll just go through again different type of like AI agent, type of AI agent. The first, the five AI agent we have categories will that help us to recognize how agent differ from based on the complexity, memory, and intelligence. The first we'll just talk about like simple or reflex agent. This is going to be the first one. At the base, we can have a simple reflex. They respond direct to the current input, no memory, no future thinking. Example like thinking of like a thermostat or a motion of the sensor. They just react instance based on the current data. We have a model base you are going to find. So we have a model based agent. They use a basic model or memory about the world. For example, navigating into bots that track user history and environment layout. So they are like smarter because they just remember adapt based on the previous input. We have basically a goal based agent. So this agent does not just react, they act with a purpose in the mind. A good example is like chess playing a board. It's like evaluating the moves, not just for now but for the long term goals like winning the game something. And we will have also utility based agents. So they are not only for purpose of the goal, they evaluate which outcome is going to be the best among several options. So for example, a recommendation system that choose not just an product to show but the most relevant one of the best on the behaviors. So so that user will just give us the feedback, scoring, and decision logic based on the it can agent can act smarter over the time. We have the finally like learning agent. So they are the agent that improve over the time. They adapt based on the feedback, new data, and changing the environment. So chatbot that gather the better with the every conversation, self-driving cars that evolves with more driving experience. They are the future of autonomous intelligence. So final summary we can say, from the lax agent to a learning system, AI agent come into many forms, each with a different level of the intelligence system. We go with the models, goals, utility, simple, or the learning agent. This understand which help you to design and choose the right kind of agent for your own projects. Okay, so in the next topic we'll just see how we can just go with the challenges of an AI agent. Okay, so this is going to be, so we can just wrap up our session. It's important to also recognize the challenge that comes with using an AI agent in the real world system. Let's quickly walk through the four most critical ones. The first is data privacy. I know AI agent need a lot of data to a function well, and they raise a serious concern around like security, storage, or something like consent. Handling sensitive information like healthcare data, messages, or user behavior must follow a strict compliance policy like GDPR, HIPAA. These all things which we'll just talk in the next upcoming videos. We have second challenge in ethical challenge. How do we ensure like fairness, that AI is not biased to us, like other decision is are accurate, or explainable? These are the open question in AI governance. They required us like constantly review how agents are trained and evaluate. Third is like a technical complexities. So building and developing an AI agent is not always a simple. It just involves a setting of the architecture, integrating the APIs, building a knowledge base, training a model, and maintaining it all at a scale. This means engineering expertise sorry. So basically what I'm just saying, like this means like engineering like expertise, whatever we have infrastructure or the testing, we need to just combine whole in the technical way, which not very really, which we need have a team works, like a complex team works. It's not really in a straightforward go and build that AI agent. It's not even that simple. We have a limited compute resource. Again, this AI gen, especially those they are really on the deep learning or real-time interface, can be resource intensive. This means like higher cost over the GPU uses, cloud hosting if you are using an AWS, GCP or Microsoft, real-time processing. So they need some of the costing they will have. So organization must balance the power with this budget. So final reflection, I can just say like, so yes, AI agents are really powerful, but they are not plug and play. So and as a builder and a user, we have to think about like data ethic, engineering and the scale. And the next part of the whole series will just look at how we can just plan and build an agent responsible, keeping all this challenge in the mind. So thank you for being a part of our journey into agentic AI. Thank you so much.